Hey everybody, it's Scott, Simcoe Spring Service, and today I have three big announcements. Announcement number one is going to be that we're going to be at the Norfolk County Fair and Horse Show, October 7th to October 13th. We're going to be having a booth there. You can come check us out and say hi. Our booth is going to be in building number 4, which is that building right there. And if you look at the map, we're going to be at E5, which is right in the middle of the building. You basically walk in through the door and we're going to be on either the left or right side, depending on what side you come in through the building. We're going to have displays of some of the parts that we work on, some of the suspensions that we work on. You can come down and ask us any questions. You can meet the crew. I'll be there as often as I possibly can. And we're also going to be having a giveaway. So the giveaway is going to be a More Ride heavy-duty bushing kit and equalizer setup. So this goes on a tandem axle trailer, and we're going to have the draw where you can get the parts installed. Now, if you don't want those specific parts, then we're going to offer you the option to turn that into $800 worth of cash to go towards any parts that you're looking for. So you can go for hitches, you can get any lift kits, leveling kits, shackles, equalizers, bushings, struts, anything that you want. We have a wide range of suspension components, and we also have access to a whole bunch of other stuff too. So come check us out, Norfolk County Fair, October 7th to 13th. So the schedule for the booth is listed right here. We're basically going to be there from like 10 to 12 hours a day. So yeah, come check us out, grab some fair food, check out the rides, check out the sights, the sounds. We'll probably have like concerts and all sorts of other stuff. So yeah, I'll see you there, and hope you guys have fun. Come down and say hi. So now we're just going to go back to the shop for announcement number 2. And I'll see you there. So we're back at the shop here, and I'm going to try to segment into our second large announcement. And basically, this is our shipping department. It's the back of the office. We have our shipping and packing table here. We got our boxes, packaging materials, stuff like that. We got our shipping and receiving computer and our one station. So this runs the heartbeat of our online operation. And one thing that you don't realize is that when we first started this whole online store, it was one shelf on the bottom because nobody used the shelf. So basically I took over a shelf that nobody else was using and started my online store on one shelf. And now it was expanded to this entire section of the office. So if we come over here, of course, we got our packaging material here. We got our cart for moving all our heavy stuff around. So when the orders get picked, we pick them, place them on the cart, and then we can wheel them up to the front for the couriers to pick them up. They're a little too heavy for us to handle because every box is between like 15 and 45 pounds or something like that. So when you're manhandling 20, 30, 40 packages in a day, it can get pretty crazy. Never done 40. We'll get to that in a second. So essentially, we have our heavy-duty bushing kits for our More Ride stuff. I wish this was a little bit of a better seller. It's an amazing product. Everybody that has high mileage should put them on your trailers. However, that's not the point. The point is that I want to sell more products, and I want you guys to help me out with that. So we're launching officially our affiliate program. You can go to simcoespring.com on the home page, about a page down. You can see that there is our affiliate sign up page basically. And what you can do is you can sign up to be an affiliate, and the default is it's 5% off discount code for the person that's ordering, and you get 5% commission on the order. However, if you do well and there's a lot of sales, then we can boost that commission up higher, 7%, 8%, 10%. We'll work on that as we get through the process. Right now we're starting it at 5% commission, and we're going to work it up from there. And one of the main reasons why is because we now are in a hyper specialized section of the internet. So we got heavy duty bushing kits, equalizers and trailer parts. We also got our lift kits for our camper trailers, utility trailers and boat trailers, stuff like that. Now we used to only have like 6 or 8 of these boxed up. Now I got this entire shelving unit. I got extra blocks down here, pre-packaged, ready to ship kits right here. We also have our leaf spring repair kit. So this is if you break a leaf in a Chevy pickup truck or a Ford F-150, then we have the repair kits for that. We also have them for the Nissan Frontier, the Toyota Tacoma, and the Toyota Tundra. I haven't made videos on them yet. I will be shortly in the future. To our Canadian customers and affiliates, we have a whole list of trailer parts that are available. So we got brakes, hubs, drums, bearings, all that sort of stuff. Everything's made in China, so unfortunately our American customers cannot purchase them currently because they get hit with a 51.5% tariff on all Chinese goods. So we've been trying to avoid that. We currently have them blocked until the tariffs are removed. Until that point in time, we're essentially opening it up to any kind of Canadian people that wish to purchase any trailer parts. They're readily available on our website at simcoespring.com, which segments us into the next announcement. And we'll get to it in a second. I'm going to build up to it because this is important. This is huge. I've been working on this ever since this was a thought process, this entire online store and everything like that. But if you can't tell, we are full right to the top. There's not a single spot empty. I can't fit more inventory in here, and anything that you see missing should be restocked Monday or Tuesday. That's not the point. All these need to be reordered because we sold them this week. But yeah, everything is usually filled to the brim. So let's spin this around. This is our other section that we have taken over. So we have all of our packaging boxes and stuff like that. We got our Timrins that we have in stock. Got some leveling kits, things that people request. Over here, this is our pick station for all of our U-bolts that go under our lift kits. So these are all our U-bolts for the lift kits. These are non-lift kit U-bolts. So if you have a trailer with just normal U-bolts, you can get them too. We have those available. They come pre-packaged. They're kind of cool. U-bolts, nuts, washers, and new U-bolt plates. Comes as a kit. It's actually very reasonably priced. But yeah, if you can't tell, this is kind of full too. And you come across here, these are our heavy-duty coil springs for the Dodge Ram 1500, for the old body style, for the new body style. And we have some of the coil insulators that go on top of the coil springs. They're hard to see, but essentially they are like a little hat that sits on top of them. Now, the issue we have here is... this is also full. And I can't take up more space from our retail location. I've already taken over half of the office here. Which brings me to step 2. Let's go for Little John. Yeah, sorry, the lighting here kind of sucks. But essentially, this is one of our outbuildings on the property. I got our brakes, hubs, drums, bearings. These are all our MORride heavy-duty bushing kits. We like to stock tons of them. I buy them in by the skid load. They're one of the most popular items on our website, other than the lift block kits. We got the X Factor cross members. They are specifically designed to help brace your hangers from twisting. So if you have a top heavy load on your trailer, it doesn't allow your hangers to flex and stuff like that. But lo and behold, you can kind of see that this shelf's full too. We swing you around to the other half of the building. We got a skid full of 3-inch lift blocks that we're currently welding and assembling. In our last video, we were making them. You can see there's quite a few of these here. About 600 or 700 of those in there. So this is the best way I've found to store the heavy-duty U-bolt plates. So these are heavy-duty U-bolt plates for the trailers. They're a little stiffer, a little harder, a little stronger than your standard U-bolt plates. They don't flex and bend as easily. So we're started making them. I haven't made a video on them yet either. But yeah, we got lift blocks and storage bins. We got U-bolt plates and storage bins. We got skids of coils for our Dodge Ram 1500 pickup trucks, our most popular kits that we sell. We also got all our coils here for the Dodge Caravans, Toyota Tundras. Let me go through the list. Toyota Tundra, Dodge Ram lowering coils. We got these for the 894. We got front coil springs for the Dodge Ram 1500. We got heavy duty coil springs for the Dodge Ram 2500 in here somewhere. Here they are. 905 XHD, that's for the new Dodge Ram body style. That's front coils. Those are front coils for a Dodge Ram 2500. That's for a Dodge Caravan cargo van. So yeah, tons and tons of coil springs. I got extra empty boxes and a bunch of other storage stuff. But yeah, if you can't tell, we do have a little bit of space in here, but I kind of threw some of my junk in there, like extra shelving and stuff like that. So we're kind of like, you kind of get this vibe that we're kind of running out of space again. Like there's not a whole lot more that I can bring in. There's not a whole lot of new part numbers that I can actually have access to. We can kind of piecemealing stuff together, but I feel like I'm really missing something. Like what I want to do is I want to make entire suspension kits available for people. So if you're like, hey, I'm working on a Chevy 1500 pickup truck. I want bushing, shackles, U-bolts, U-bolt plates, spacers, center bolts, and end bolts or whatever. And I want to buy that as a kit. I'm like, well, I don't have a space to do that. I could probably have a lot of the individual items, but to box them up in a pre-packaged kit is something I don't really have available to me. I don't really have a spot to put them, which I find kind of frustrating. So I need more space again. Which brings us to our third point. Let's go for a little journey again. So this here is an old cow barn. It was actually a horse barn at first, but then it was converted into a cow barn. We had the little man door over there where you could walk into. This section here was the hay mow, where you'd put all the hay bales and stuff like that. And then where the big door here is where the old door was for the cows to get in and out. There was another one on the other side over by the tank there, but we took that one out because I didn't need another door. And then on the other side, on the far side, on the very back, kind of mirroring this door, there was another door. Now I took and renovated this thing back in 2018 because I wanted a nice little spot to park my tractors, my lawnmowers, stuff like that. I got about 4 acres of grass to cut here, 3.5 acres of grass to cut here. So I need, a couple of nice pieces of equipment. Really need to be able to take care of this place. So let's crack this thing open, take a look. So I got a nice automatic door, I can drive in. Let's turn some lights on, take a look. It's hard to get a perspective of where everything is. So basically you're standing outside and this is inside. We got our CNC machine there. So it gives you a perspective of how we enter into this building here and kind of give you an idea of the layout and stuff like that. As we take a couple steps inside, I got my small lawnmower. This is a rear steer, front steer lawnmower that I just purchased last year. Old one that was like 20 years old, kind of blew the motor out of it. So that's good for like edging the grass, cutting around trees, cutting around the buildings, stuff like that. And essentially it allows me to have a versatile riding lawnmower that's a lot smaller that I can fit into smaller areas with. It's also really good on the hills and stuff like that in the ditch. But essentially I got my CNC machine here and it takes up quite a bit of space. It takes up 100 square feet. So you probably get this perspective a lot when I'm running my CNC machine. I did end up parking it here because I wanted to have as much space in here as humanly possible to be able to fit things like skids and stuff. Now this is a snapshot. This wasn't planned. This isn't prepared. This is just a random day. I just happened to have walked in here. Nothing is staged. I literally didn't even know how everything was going to be laid out in here when I opened the door, ironically. But we got a skid of blocks here that we're processing. We ran out of the little socket head cap screws in here, so we got a little stack going on there. We're completely out of them. But yeah, run out of a little bit of space in here because I got carts with 3-inch blocks drying there. I got skids here. I have another skid over there of parts that need to be cleaned. So I got a skid of these parts that need to be cleaned. Oh, sorry, those need to be cleaned. Those need to be painted. And then these need to be machined. So these are our heavy duty U-bolt plate blanks. These have been run through the surface prep parts cleaner. And of course, there's all our garbage from running the 2-inch blocks. We get about a bin full like that every time we run, probably 200, maybe 250 blocks, something like that. We get about that much material out of there. And we go to this side. I got my large tractor. It's got a front end loader and a blade. The blade's good for grading our driveway and stuff like that. For whenever it rains, we get ruts and stuff. Allows us to fix them. We got a front end loader for cleaning up brush and scrub and, you know, fixing the driveway too, because sometimes I gotta get a load of gravel in here and spread it around. So it's nice to have a front end loader. I got my safety cage, miscellaneous implements, air compressor, parts cleaner over here. So once you get to the point where you have your cleaning station, my CNC machine, and my lawnmower's in here, there's no space again. Which brings me to my point. Seems like I'm building up to something here. So let's go outside one last time. So here we are on a windy, cloudy day in the middle of August in 2025. And I'm here to announce finally that we are demolishing both of these buildings, and we are going to be building a new fab shop here in Norfolk County, Ontario, Canada. So this building is going to be taken down. We're demolishing it. The lean-to that my dad used to use for storing hay in, and he used to have the feeder in that bay. Sorry, on this bay here. I'll do a walk around here in a second. We're going to demolish in this building here. We're going to dig up all this concrete. We're building a new building that's going to be 100 feet long, 60 feet deep. It's going to have 2 bays. One bay is going to be a 4-post hoist, so we can work on vehicles and I can shoot more videos. I can also offer a little bit more service to my customers, because right now currently we only have 2 bays. So we'll be increasing our bays by 1, which is wonderful. The second bay is going to be used for everything that's in there right now. So my tractors, my lawnmowers, my workbench, my tools, and all that stuff. And we're going to set up a nice little area there for that. Behind, we're going to put in a fab shop that's going to run in behind and to the side. And I'm going to show you videos on this, so you're going to have to just be patient. I'm going to show diagrams and stuff like that, get your opinions on stuff. That video will be coming soon. And then on this end, we're going to have our warehousing and distribution center with a little bit of office space and stuff like that. So yeah, this is exciting. I've been working on this thing for like 2 years. The building permits and demolition permits and the site plan are all been submitted to the county. Funding has been found finally, because it's not like I have, you know, a mattress full of money I can just go build a building with. But yeah, there we go. Ready to expand on the new endeavor of the online store. And then I can start bringing you nice content of installation videos, because I'm going to have easy access to my own independent bay where I can shoot videos and teach you guys how to do suspension and stuff like that. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be wonderful, and I'm excited about it. Oh, just so much work has went into trying to figure this out, and it makes me kind of almost sad that it took this much effort. And really in life, things should be a lot simpler than this, especially if you have a hope and a dream. A lot of those dreams could be crushed because of the paperwork is brutal. But we got through it and we're ready to build. So we're excited. Hopefully demolition happens this year, as long as all the permits come through, because I'm ready to rock and roll in this thing. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to run this thing, and I'm ready to teach you guys everything you need to know about suspension on vehicles. And yeah, I'm super excited about that. All right, so let's show you the old lean-to. We're going to demo too, and we'll go from there. There's my snow plow for plowing snow in the winter. Got my front end loader, lawn roller, lawn sweeper, and copious amounts of bird poop everywhere. I did have a dream of like enclosing this thing in and turning it into a fab shop, but it's pretty hopeless in here. I'll take a look and I'll show you why. So technically I could frame in some of the walls and stuff like that and put in, like, it's a 2x6 wall or 6x6 walls. So technically I could frame it up with 2x6s and put some insulation in here and stuff like that. The roof is actually in really good shape. However, this has been destroyed by cows. Everything has been destroyed. And the other issue you have too is cracking. There's cracks everywhere, cracks over there, cracks throughout. It's uneven, so all this concrete would have to be jackhammered out, which isn't like a terrible problem. But we got a split down there. But yeah, you can see some of this wood has been rubbed away by the cows rubbing their backs on it for years. So structural integrity of this is, it's okay for a barn, but to turn this into like a mini fab shop out here, I mean, it's not ideal. Everything would have to be stripped off, all the moldy, rotten gypboard and stuff like that. All the boards are broken. There's about 35 birds' nests in here. So yeah, there you go. This is coming down, that's coming down. We're putting a new fab shop in here, new warehouse distribution center. So I have a couple of quests for you people out there. First of all, I have about 9 to 15 barn swallows that nest inside of here, like nests. So you're talking about like 18-ish mating pairs, between that and like 20 mating pairs, something like that. There's a lot of barn swallows in there. I want any kind of information that you guys have for barn swallow nests, because I want to make a kind of like a little bit of a sanctuary here. I'm going to put a couple of barn swallow basically nesting areas around the property. And I also want to, on the north end of the building, on the new building, put a whole bunch of barn swallow, like little like nests or something like that. So if you guys have any information on that, I'd really appreciate it. I love the birds on my property. We usually have anywhere from like 200 to 400 birds that are nesting on our property at all times, just on our 5 acres here. So I want to keep that going. So if anybody has any suggestions or ideas, let me know. I'd really appreciate it. The other thing I'm looking for is a mini crane. So it'll go 12 feet across, about 12 feet high. It can only be a single or a V pole, so either a single pole or like a tripod style. And I'm looking for one that will run on 220 single phase electricity, and it has to be able to hoist up at least 600, 700 pounds. And the final thing I'm looking for is a paint booth. So I've been looking at a couple of different types of paint booths and stuff like that for painting our blocks and parts. So it's for small parts. I'm looking for one that's between probably 7 to 8 feet wide. It has to be at least 7 feet tall, maybe even 8 feet tall. And I'm looking for one that's probably between 4 and 6 feet deep. I'm looking for one that's going to qualify to be able to be purchased in Ontario here in Canada, because some of the spray painting cabinets and stuff like that I've been looking for aren't certified for purchase in Ontario. You can't get the right certifications or something like that. I'm not 100% sure on. I'm still doing the research into it. So if anybody has any information on that, really appreciate it. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you're as excited as I am. I can't wait to start making videos on a regular basis. We're going to be filming the entire demolition, destruction, and reconstruction of the new building and bringing it to you guys. So if you guys have any ideas for any kind of video names and stuff like that, let me know. But basically, it's new beginnings. We'll start from there. Have yourself a great day. I'll catch you next time. Good night.